Pretty amazing. For more on RIMPAC and what it could mean in the long term for participating countries and the Asia-Pacific region, we're joined by Andrew Borene. He's Defense Counsel Advisor at the Truman National Security Project and attorney at Steptoe and Johnson. That's here in Washington, D.C. The United States has been talking to China. It's got to be more transparent about its military. Well, here it is with some of its ship. What does this do in terms of transparency and kind of building trust between these two countries, would you say?
I think it goes a long way. This is the first time ever China has participated in the RIMPAC exercises. And certainly all of the participants in this exercise from 22 nations are aware that there are future humanitarian disasters where they'll need to work together. And at those times, it will be very important that all of those forces understand each other's tactics, techniques, procedures, ways of conducting operations in order to prevent confusion that could lead to conflict. So I think it's actually very positive that China is participating this year, especially at a time when they face some maritime tensions with Japan and the Philippines, and also some tensions with the United States over espionage claims one way or the other.
You know, it's interesting because, the U.S. looks at it one way, obviously China looks at it in another. The Asia pivot, China concerned about containment. Will this help on their side to kind of have a better understanding of how the U.S. is looking at things?
I think so. I think it will go a long way toward all parties understanding that security of the seas and maritime operational freedom is really the responsibility of all actors in the Pacific and really around the world. And so I think that this exercise this year does help to bring China into the fold of a partner of sorts in securing those sea lanes and also creating a capacity for humanitarian response. One of the exercises they're conducting is a mock typhoon humanitarian response. And that certainly those types of natural disasters are things that we will face across international divide.
And we talked about the tensions between the United States and China, which are out there. There's also considerable tensions between China and Japan over the Diaoyu Islands, and South China Sea, all of that. Japan's also participating in this exercise. Does this help kind of ease the tensions there as well, in your estimation?
Well, I think what it will do is, in the event there is a future interaction between those navies, it does help create understanding of the way that they conduct business, which could certainly help to de-escalate a situation that could spiral out of control at a future time. So I think there's only good that can come from the participation of many nations' navies in the Pacific region. And if anything, I think the Chinese will see that this is actually U.S. diplomatic leadership. Yes, there's a great deal of military force, there's a great deal of military exchange, certainly there's exertion of hard power and exhibition of these alliances. But this also is a very important diplomatic exercise that brings people together, not just at the senior levels, but all the way down to those individual seamen and Marines and dismounted land forces.
Win-win, mutual trust, all of that. You can't say it's a bad thing, because obviously it's a good thing for all participants.
Yeah, and I think that it shows maturity. As China evolves as a power, it also shows maturity that they can have some confrontation on some issues and cooperate on others. And I think that's the way the United States tries to perpetuate diplomacy.
All right. Thanks so much. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to CCTV for the latest on Nathan King's reports on RIMPAC. You can also head over to our website for his collection of stories on the exercise. That's cctv-america.